All right, guys, back again for chapter 2 of Finding Langston. I noticed in the first chapter they didn't mention any Langston, and now I'm like curious who or what a Langston is. Is it as a person? Is it an animal? Is it a place? Who are we finding? I guess we're only on chapter 2, so I should just stop guessing and read. All right, here we go, chapter 2. So we left off with the main character. Do we know the main character's name? Did I already forget that? I don't think we have that yet. Well, the main character left off. Dad just got home and he was pretending, or she. It's a boy on the cover, so I think it's a boy. Out doing his schoolwork. That's where we left off. Goodness, I don't know anything about this book yet. All right, chapter 2. I like being the first in the classroom each morning so I can walk through the schoolyard and hallways for most everyone arrives and for the trouble starts. Means I gotta get up early with Daddy ahead of the rest of the tenants to get into the bathroom for all the hot water is used up. If I'm slow getting up, I gotta wait in line. Folks complain every morning about how many gotta share it and people taking too long to do their business and how some folks got nasty habits. But for me and Daddy, it's our first time with an indoor toilet and a sink with running water through my fingers like a river. I don't miss toting water from the well in a bucket for Mom to cook or clean with, or washing up from a basin in the corner of the room. Saturday nights was the only time we had hot water in a tin tub filled to the brim with the water Mama heated for my bath. Never had a toilet to flush in the outhouse. When I first came to Chicago, I pretended to have to go to the bathroom just to flush the toilet and watch the water spin in circles down a little hole. Daddy found out and fussed nearly all day about being wasteful. A sin, he said. Been here 2 months now, but still can't get enough of that water. One spout for hot, one for cold. I make a cup with my hands and move them side to side to make the water just the right amount of both to wash up. He's so excited about water, you guys. I love it. Like a sink. Who knew? I get to school earlier than everyone in my class, excuse me, and sit at the front nearest to my teacher, Mrs. Robbins, where I can pretend I don't hear the laughing and talking in back of me. Mrs. Robbins acts like she doesn't hear it either, 'cause she sure doesn't stop it. My schoolmates come in one by one. "Hey, country boy," someone says as they pass my desk. Country boy's been my name since I came to Chicago. The name everyone in my class says when they point at my run-over shoes and laugh at the overalls I still wear and the way I speak. Sometimes Mrs. Robbins will ask me to repeat my words, and that's when the whispers and laugh behind start up. Even when I know the answer to questions, I don't raise my hand. I'm still waiting on Daddy to buy me pants and a belt and shoes that ain't worn through the soles so I can look like the boys here in the north. The day stretches longer than an Alabama road, and I do my best to pay attention, but I'm really just waiting for the bell to ring. "Need any help, Miss Robbins?" I ask on my way out of the classroom. "Not today, hon," she says, turning off the lights to go home. I take my time walking down the stairs, running my hands along the cinder block walls and stopping to tie my shoes. I duck into the bathroom to wash my hands, even though there ain't a speck of dirt on them. Finally, I open the door that leads out to the schoolyard. It's empty. Quiet. I'm safe. The door closes behind me with a click, but before I get 3 steps into the yard, I see them. All 3 of them, standing with their backs against the wall, waiting for me. Lyman's the leader. Not quite as tall as me, but thin as a rail. Got one eye a little smaller than the other, but not too small to see me from a mile away. I ignore him. "Keep to yourself," Daddy always says, "and you'll stay out of trouble." First shove hits me square in the back. "You ignoring me?" Errol and Clem start laughing. They're not as mean as Lyman, but they're trying. Lyman does the talking, they do the laughing. Kind of like a preacher preaching the gospel and the congregation shouting amen. I heard Lyman once bothered a boy so bad he left Haynes and started a school across town. No chance Daddy moving me to another school. Of course, he never seen Lyman, Errol, and Clem working me over from the time I get to school till the time I go home. I ain't sure, but I'm willing to bet that their families came from the South just like mine. Bet their mamas and daddies words tumble out slow and lazy just like mine. Bet they worked fields with a plow and a mule just like mine. Outside school, I've seen some of the kids from my school walking with their with their families, and something about the way they talk and laugh a little too loud tells me they ain't been here as long as they like folks at school to believe. Some folks forget where they came from soon as they step off the train at Union Station. We left Alabama in the hottest month of the year, months after the sweet-selling magnolia buds appeared on the trees and right after we buried Mama. At her funeral, I stood at Mama's grave holding Grandma's hand, and we sang, "His eye is on the sparrow," and "Precious Lord, take my hand," and all her favorite hymns, right along with the choir who came from church, sang loud enough so no one would notice Daddy's lips weren't moving. Back at the house, folks from church piled my plate with potato salad and fried chicken and told me, "Sit down, baby, and eat." But for the first time ever, I couldn't make myself swallow a bite. I sat in the corner watching people filling up the rooms where Mama used to be. Everywhere I saw her sewing or soaking her feet or laughing with Daddy or fixing me breakfast. And after everyone went on home and all the food was put away, Mama stayed with me in that house. I guess that's why barely 1 week later, Dad made me wear my itchy hot Sunday clothes to the train depot. Sweat ran down my back till it tickled. Me and Daddy squeezed into the last seats near the engine. So many people, some folks had to stand. In the colored section, we could smell the smoke and the air was thick. The white car was at the end of the train, folks said, with plenty of seats and air clean and fresh. A curtain separated the color car from the white, and only the porters and the conductors could pass through. I can't think about all that now, not with Lyman on my heels. I walk faster. Back home I had friends, not a lot, but enough to make me feel like I fit. At lunch, outside, we play marbles together, sometimes climb the tree in the back of the school. No one laughed when I talked or pointed out my run-over shoes and overalls. Jimmy had a mama who drank. He sometimes came to school with no lunch pail, and I'd share what I had. Roland didn't have a daddy, but we didn't talk about those things, just about trading marbles and stuff I barely remember now. Lyman steps in front of me, stopping me short. "We're talking to you, and you ain't answering." I hear the laughing in back of me. "What'd you say?" I ask, and then it starts. The Amen choir repeats, "What'd you say?" and a drawl sounds nothing like me. I take a step back and land on Errol's toes. He shoves me into Lyman. Clem stands off to the side, watching with wide eyes. I try to go around, first one side, then the other. Finally, I wait while Lyman and Errol push and shove me back and forth. If I'm quiet, they'll get tired and move on. I feel a slap on the back of my neck, and they start to move away down the block. Clem's wide eyes look back at me, staring. Not nice, but not mean either. I pick up my satchel that dropped, pull down my shirt, and head home to wait alone for Daddy. Okay, that chapter was really sad, but that's the end of chapter 2, so we're going to stop there. Gosh, I have a lot of questions. I like hearing about his background and like where he came from. We know that his mom died, which I think we knew in the first chapter. We don't know how yet. We still don't know who Langston is. Here we go. We got lots of questions, but I will see you guys next time for chapter 3. Bye!